What's going on? Welcome back. So this video, I didn't think I'd be making this video, but we're making it. It's the roof racks. It originally came with a roof rack from the old tradie van. They carried the window panes on the roof, I'm guessing, and they bolted them straight through the framework. So they bolted them just up here, just in there. So I took them out. I didn't really like the idea because obviously there was the indents for the roof rack to actually go on. So I took off the roof rack. I thought I was going to keep it, but I took it off in the end. I was going to build my own rail system and then some struts that go along. But as I took it off, I realised that it's a pretty good roof rack. So now I'm going to be building a roof rack rail system on both sides and then packing it a little bit and then putting the roof rack that came with it back on. The reason I'm doing this is because when we bought it, the roof rack was slightly sideways, as in like it was overhanging on one side so that they could hang the glass panes on one side. Obviously I didn't want a roof rack that was crooked, so that was why I took it off and I was going to rebuild it. But it's going back on and it's going on straight. How is that? Alrighty, so this is the best thing that I could find. It's aluminium. It's basically for shops when they're hanging their stock. So basically a little thing will slide in there and then it will come out and it will hang all their stuff. It's actually this way. So I'm going to be using this in the little gutter rails for where I'm putting my roof rack in. I'll put it up on the roof and then I'll measure. I'll draw where all of the holes are meant to be for the roof rack, and I'll put the roof rack originally that we've got on top, mark out where that lines up, and basically I'm just going to be drilling holes all the way through where they'll be sitting on the roof. And for the roof rack, there'll be bolts that come up, so they'll be attached. They'll slide in here, have a little pack, and then just screw onto the roof rack. Alright, so this is the rough plan. It's not real, but it will just be a bolt. Luckily these bolts have a little square tip on them, just on the end, which is the perfect diameter for these metal pieces, as you can see. So I'll just basically need to tighten this bolt down. I've got some washers just to hold it in, and then that doesn't go anywhere. I'll pack it and then the roof rack will be sitting on top of this. So this is the original roof rack. It's got them, whoa, it's got these little legs just here, which I might keep, I might cut off, nobody knows. But that will be sitting on top of them rails. It's made of aluminium, so it's light. It's got a lot of the structure beams, so it should be great. Now, although this roof rack was made of aluminium, it's still pretty heavy and it's very awkward to carry. So I'd recommend definitely getting help, because it's very awkward to try and lift this roof rack up, and the beams are so far away from each other that it was so hard to just grab and pull up. But I didn't doubt myself. I knew I was a unit and I got it done. Righty, so this is what it roughly looked like. We have the rail and the roof rack. So I just need to measure a pencil where the roof rack's going and where the holes are for the roof. You see these, where are they? There they are. Woo! That was the original roof rack. I just put a bolt through them and silicone all around the head of the bolt. So they're watertight now. So let's give it a go. So in this section here, we're going to be building a decking. I'm not sure if I'm concerned about this little overhang here, because it's obviously going to be bolted to 4 other pieces of the roof rack, so it shouldn't tilt, it shouldn't bend it, I don't think, and it's going to have wooden slats which come all the way to this side too, so I feel like the weight should be fine. We'll see how it goes. So all the pencil lines are marked out, marked where the hole for the roof is going to go, and marked where this piece of the roof rack will be sitting, and I pretty much just did that the whole way along. So let's go. Righty, another new plan. Just found these bolts. They're screw heads, so they fit in between the track. And then this bolt, I've had to sand the head off just so that it can slide over, which just means that I can attach this to the roof first, and then I can slide these bolts in. I was originally actually gonna set them all up in a row just so that they're perfect, so there was going to be bolts going down and then ones coming up, but you can't change anything, so now I can attach the track and then I can put the roof rack in. Here I'm just clamping the two rails together because I had the marking on one of the rails, and then I'm just using a square to mark the exact same hole on the other rail, and then I'm screwing the drill head into the rail just to make the holes ready for the bolt to drop in, and then I'm just cutting them to length just so they fit onto the roof nice and perfect. So now we're going to be taking out these little clips from the roof we're going to be using, and then just try and push it out with this, and then hopefully they'll come out. Let's go. Whoop. 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 So now that my holes are poked out, we're going to use this double-sided sealing tape. I'll put it underneath the rails, just where the holes are, just so that no water gets in. When I used this tape first on the skylight in the previous video, I wasn't too sure about how this tape would go. I was a bit skeptical, but it turned out to be great for the skylight. It held really well, it was very sticky, so I decided to just use it on these rails and just poke the hole for the bolt straight through it, and it seemed to hold really well. I was just laying it onto the roof here and it just stuck very good. I just pushed down every single bolt where the hole is, and eureka! So this is what the channel is looking like now. I just need to go underneath and put some washers and bolts on all them screws, and then it should compact the double-sided sealing tape. I'm just going to put some T-Rex silicone around the bolt on the inside just to keep the paranoia out and the good sleeps in. Lovely stuff. Alrighty, that's all of them done. It's pretty fiddly. I had to get my partner just to hold the adjustable on the bolt here, and then I went onto the roof and they were Phillips heads, so I just screwed them in, and she held the washer and the nut tight, and all the silicone has just oozed out, which is great. Dun 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 dun. Nice. So the moment of truth. Does the bolt slide the whole way along? Nice, nice, looking good. Oh, looking still alright. Keeps going. It's still going. Dun dun dun. Uh-oh. She's still going. Do 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 do. Whoop. I guess it works. So that's both the sides done. We'll leave the silicone to dry till tomorrow. Woohoo! Well, that's about it for this video. The next video, I'm just going to be cleaning up the roof rack that we got, sanding it back, and then spraying it. I've got some holes to drill for the bolts that are going to be on the rail system coming up, and we'll screw them in. There's a few things that I need to muck around with on the roof rack, but this video is getting too long, and I'm sure you're very bored. So I'll see you in the next video. It'll be fun, I promise. Maybe we'll build the decking on top too. Woohoo!